a lot happened between the end of that last video and here, and what happened in my computer setup was that the stream was interrupted and the video was cut off. I would say maybe only a third of the way, well, maybe halfway through it. But the point is, half of my time just now, in terms of the video, was lost, and that's okay. As long as I can capture the two major thoughts that I had during that time that brought me to here. I was just at the end of that last video, and really just for my own benefit, I was at the end of that last video, I was just about to explore one of them, which was that limited slots force character decisions. By building that bolt caster without paying close enough attention to the limitations of my slots and the other two items that I might want to have, I forced myself more quickly towards the first moment when I would have to use a combat device, even though I don't want to head in that direction. If I had prioritized those other two objects, I might stay out of combat situations longer, might be more careful, and might do more in the direction of those other decisions. That's what I want to do. That's my goal. That's the type of character I'm trying to play, I'm wanting to play. So what I did was I went back and grabbed my saved place from a few minutes before that and reloaded it in character, in the sense that I was actually a character, that we the character were realizing that these were decisions we were making in the moment. We remembered using the save to save our lives earlier. We went back in time and made a different decision. And I, I wouldn't say deinstalled the bolt caster. I didn't have to, because I went back in time and instead installed the range booster and the beam intensifier, and I haven't regretted either decision yet. I do need more slots in my tool at this point, but it was a character decision I made. So that was the first thing, the first sort of major thought process that I think is important to capture. The limited slots are annoying to people, and I'm sure they'll be adjusted, but they do essentially force character decisions. You can't simply build out everything. It's kind of like having limited slots in a skill tree in a multiplayer game. At any rate, that was the first thing that happened. The second thing that I can remember, major thing after that point, I had a few more interactions with the Sentinels, where I stuck to my current plan of only harvesting 2 items at a time in close proximity to each other. And they scanned me once again and continued on their way. We have a good detente between us, a good understanding. That wasn't the other major thing. The other major thing had to do with the question of who has created these facilities. And by these facilities, I really mean the outposts that I have been to. Oh, there's a bunch of monoliths. That's great. Wow. There's at least... Oh, no, there's just the one right now. Anyway, my 2 shelters, those 2 trailers, we'll just call them trailers, whatever, are, they were nearly identical in design. And the text of these tools refers to alien species. We believe, the character believes, these tools are built almost for him. They are an extension of this deep survival technology that's integral to who we are as a character, the no-man character. So the question is, these beacon stations, I'll call them that right now, the signal towers, that we can use to map, were they built, are they Atlas technology? Are they some other technology? What is the technology base and who originated it? And this is going to become important because, as we're going to quickly find out, there's a, to many people, disappointing homogeneity to the technology base throughout the galaxy. Things are pretty much scattered uniformly all over planets. This is why, part of why I'm spending so long on this planet is because, from a resource perspective, it really doesn't matter. As long as the planet isn't trying to kill me every moment and I can get the resources I need, spending a bunch of time on this planet is as good as any other. Eventually it'd be nice to spend even more time on a prettier planet or whatever, but The technology base is consistent. Instead of being annoyed by that, what we are doing, the premise of these videos is, we are deducing the story world from the givens, and part of those givens is this homogeneity of the technology patterns. So we'll explore that a little bit more in the next video when we hopefully go into the shelter, unless they want us to bust the door down, in which we're just going to leave it alone for now. And I wanted to just capture those two thoughts because they were lost in the last half of the last video. Maybe the moral is to try and make my videos a little bit shorter and try to summarize what happens in them each time, especially if this is just for my own benefit and for sort of learning. Anyway, whatever. Here we go.